I know a lot of people struggle with motivation. I used to be like this too. It was one of those things you'd get that random burst of motivation, or you'd watch a video and you get this burst of motivation and you'd be so dead set and serious about changing your life for a few days, maybe a week. New Year's comes, you got your New Year's resolutions, you're super excited about them for a week, and then that week goes by and then nobody cares anymore. It's over. All the fun of it has fizzled out, is gone. And it's a tough situation to be in, but motivation is one of those things that you cannot rely on. If you are finding yourself needing to be motivated to make a change in your life, then I truly believe that you are fine with the way your life is and you truly do not want that change. Because if you wanted that change, you would make everything happen. You would move any obstacle you could in order for that change to make place. If you are really, truly uncomfortable in life, if you are uncomfortable enough that you can't stand the position that you're in anymore, that you can't stand the way that your body looks, or the money that you're making, if you are truly uncomfortable enough, you will find the discipline inside you to make that change. It took me a little while to get to that point. I've always been the type of person to look outside of the average path and try to find different ways to make money. I've always known I never really wanted to be, get up, go to work a 9 to 5, come home, watch TV. I never wanted to be one of those guys. Always been like that, even in high school. My first job was McDonald's. I fucking hated it. But you cannot rely on motivation. The only way that you are going to really affect change is through discipline. And discipline is built from doing the things that you do not want to do every single day. It is a skill. I think discipline is a skill that can be built. If you want to start working out, let's look at, you ever watch the show My 600 Pound Life, for example? These people can barely walk. They have to get food delivered to them. Now, if you take that person and you put them on a cut of like 1,000 calories a day and you try and make them run 20 kilometers a day, do you think that's going to last? No. The reason your motivation fizzles out is because you're trying to do too much at one time. You're trying to change too drastic. The trick is to start with something small. That's you start small, you start easy, right? You start with, maybe get out of bed and do 10 push-ups that day. You get out of bed, you do 10 push-ups. Maybe the next day you're a little sore, you do another 10. Then the next day you're feeling better, you do 20. You do that for a week. You get used to doing that thing. And that's not that drastic of a change. But once you start seeing the results come from it, once you can do 30 in a row, it's almost like it's a positive feedback loop. You get the motivation to keep doing it by seeing yourself get better. That is where true motivation comes from. I don't think motivation should be coming from a motivational video, or it's good to watch them, but it's not sustainable. I think you get a positive feedback loop from improving, and at some point you do become addicted to it. But the hardest part is starting. If you're not doing anything to better yourself, you can't just completely stop every single negative thing you're doing and change into this different person overnight. In theory you could, but it's not sustainable, right? So you have to start small, and then once you get used to that thing, add in another thing. So once you get used to doing those push-ups every day, you add in reading. You read 10 pages of a book. Once you get used to that, you start working on a side hustle. Once you get used to that, you get a gym membership. You actually go to the gym. And it happens over time. That's the thing. Everyone wants it to be fast. People are used to quick dopamine now. You have unlimited short-term happiness at the drop of a hat. I could go on my phone right now, fucking scroll TikTok, get dopamine. I could go sit down, watch TV right now, get dopamine. I could eat something that's filled with sugar, quick dopamine. And it's fast, right? We are all trained, our minds are all trained to like those fast hits of dopamine. Now, discipline and delayed gratification, it takes a long time to get the gratification from doing difficult things every day or doing things you might not want to do. But the gratification from it is much more fulfilling. That fulfillment will stick around way longer. How long do you get fulfillment from watching a TikTok video? A second? Did you even watch it? Did you even remember what you watched? Probably not. You could scroll for 5 hours straight and probably not tell me a single thing that you watched. What do you think that does to your brain? And we're all bad for it. We are all terrible for it. But it's good to not make it a habit. It's good to limit those things. So, if you want to actually make true sustainable change, I don't think you should be trying to flip your entire life around with one burst of motivation. Because motivation, what happens on the days that you don't have that motivation? You're not going to want to do it, and your mind will take control of you. So you have two options, right? You can be in the steering wheel, driving, steering your mind where you want it to go, controlling your thoughts. Not even controlling your thoughts. You can't control your thoughts, but you can control how you react to your thoughts. So if you go for a run and it's cold outside, your brain is going to be telling you all the things, trying to talk you out of it. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, I went on a run yesterday. I've been doing good. I've been running lots. Like, I could just take a day off. Your brain will blah, 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 try to fucking convince you that you don't need to do it. Now, the way you build discipline is by not listening to that. And you walk out the door anyway while all this is in your mind. And each time you do that, that voice gets quieter and quieter and quieter. Every single time you deny the voice that is telling you that you don't need to do it, that voice will quiet down until eventually you get to the point where there is no restrictions, there is nothing holding you back from doing the hard things. You get to that point where you can just do it. And that is the point when you are in the driver's seat and you are controlling the mind. The mind can be your greatest asset. It is the only thing that you can truly control. about your life. You can't control anything else. You can't control the people around you. You can't control the weather. You can't control if you get into a car crash the next day. Everything is out of your control. And if you cannot control your mind, then you have absolutely zero control of where your life is going. So you have to think, do I want to be a slave to my mind, or do I want to be the master of it? If you want to be the master of it, you need to take the steps to build the discipline. If you're already on that path, you'll know what I mean. It's not easy. That's the thing. Everyone wants an easy path. They want that quick magic pill. They want that fucking whatever that stuff was that all the celebrities were taking to lose a bunch of weight. That stuff was eating at their bone marrow. You see all those celebrities, they look like sick now. They look like they've had cancer. And I have nothing against cancer. I'm just saying, like, it is bad what it does to people. But that is the lengths that people will go to for an easy way out. They'll rather their bone marrow be destroyed by this medication so they can lose weight. They want that magic pill rather than just doing the hard work. It takes time, it takes effort, it's not going to be easy, but if you want to be an exceptional person, you have to take the hard steps, you have to do the difficult things, you have to get your mind on your side, you have to go out each and every day and never make excuses. Once your mind is on your side, life is easy. Life becomes easy mode. Once you build that discipline, you will have unlimited confidence. You won't even need motivation. Because motivation is just, it's something that comes and goes. It's like happiness. It just comes and goes. You cannot rely on being happy in life because you're always going to have a bad day. And what type of person are you going to be on that bad day? Are you still going to do the things you know you need to do? Or are you going to sit there and cry? You need to do the things that you need to do, no matter what way you feel. Your feelings should be bottom priority. That's the thing about the world today. Everyone is so obsessed with their feelings. I was watching a YouTube video last night, and there was these text messages between these two people, and this girl was talking about her choice in music and how it wasn't basic because her depression affected her choice in music. People are literally making depression a personality trait. It's like people are just in love. They're infatuated with their feelings. Your feelings do not matter. I'm sorry to tell you, but they do not matter. Especially as a man. I'm not saying you can't have feelings. You should have feelings, and you should feel them very deeply. You should feel love for your family, and you should feel sad when a relative dies. You should have feelings. But I'm saying that should not affect the things that you do on a daily basis. Because if you let your feelings affect the things that you do on a daily basis, that you're just a bag blowing around in the wind. You have no control. And I'd argue that feeling your feelings very deeply can be a source of fuel. You can use that as a source of fuel if you want to. You feel angry that day. Good. Use it to do more push-ups than you would have done otherwise. People are so obsessed with their feelings nowadays. It is mind-boggling. And I fell into the trap of that. I was just a wee lad, just a young boy. I was impressionable. I think I was maybe 14, 15 years old. I was on TikTok all the time. I was smoking weed every single day. I was eating like crap because I was working at McDonald's. So that's pretty much like all I ate. I wasn't getting out and seeing family. And when I did go out, I was just smoking weed with my friends, not doing anything, wasn't working out. And I became depressed. And I went to the doctor. It took me probably a year to finally tell my parents. I became depressed, and I told them. I cried, did all this and that, and they took me to the doctor. You know what the doctor did? Gave me a sheet of paper. It was a questionnaire. Do you feel sad? Do you think about hurting yourself? Blah, 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 blah. 10 questions. Answered them all. Doctor's like, okay, yeah, you have depression. You have depression. Here's a pill. Take this and feel like a zombie and numb your brain and not be able to get an erection and do that, and your life will be fine. So I started taking that pill, and that is when I kind of started to go through my awakening to, self development and becoming the best version of yourself. And one day I just said, why the fuck am I having to take a pill to not want to off myself? I'm a young kid. I should not be feeling this way. Okay, we gotta cancel this order real quick. Sorry about that. I should not be feeling this way. And so what I started to do was I took those pills, stopped taking them. My parents didn't know. I started working out. I started meditating. I started reading books. I threw away TikTok, deleted all the social media apps. I did that for about a year before I got social media back again. I almost didn't talk to anyone. I was in my own mind going around and seeing all the garbage that was in there that I had to get rid of. At some point, you just get uncomfortable enough that you have to make the change. And when you finally do, you will make that change. But if you are not uncomfortable enough in life, it's gonna be hard. You might say you're uncomfortable one day out of the week, and then the rest of the days you're fine. You play some video games. It doesn't matter, right? Once you get to that point, you will actually want to make that change. And if you want to make that change today, even if you're not that uncomfortable, you can. You just have to build the discipline. TikTok's bad, by the way. There's this new program in Canada called MAID, and it's assisted suicide. There are like 16-year-old kids committing suicide because they are depressed or they feel sad and they don't want to be here anymore. When I was on TikTok and I was depressed, the shit that I would see, man, it was like the saddest stuff. It was like talking about killing yourself and all this and that. It was like poison for your mind. It would just make it worse. And I would sit there and just scroll and intake this stuff that would make me just worse and worse. If you are sad, you need to get off social media. You need to go outside. You need to look up at the sky and thank God for your life. The chances that you are even born on this planet, the chances that you are healthy, you still have your eyesight, you have all your limbs, you have a healthy body that can move. The chances of that are so astronomically low that you need to seriously take a look at yourself. Go outside, look up at the sky. Thank God that you are alive, that you can breathe in air today, and you can hug your mom, and you can talk to your friends. You don't realize how lucky you are. There are little kids in other countries that are bombed. They didn't even get a chance. They didn't even get a chance at life. And people are here talking about how they're depressed. I don't think you would be depressed if there were bombs falling on you. I think you would be very thankful that you are alive through all that. And I'm not saying my life was hard. I had no reason to be depressed. I don't know what it was. I think it was, whether it was chemical imbalance. I think it was just the way I was living my life. Smoking weed, not working out, eating shit. Everything that you put into your body is going to affect your mind. Every single thing that you do. You need to make a change if you are feeling depressed every day. And if you truly have no reason to be depressed, like aside from like, you're not like the story of Batman, like both your parents didn't, go in a car crash or something. Or I forget how they, whatever, doesn't matter. Batman is not important to this. But everyone focuses so much on your feelings nowadays. Everyone tells you, oh, it's okay, like you can, and then you sit there and you go to therapy and you talk about the sad things for like 2 hours straight. If you are sad and you sit there and you keep talking about the sad things, you keep reliving them in your mind, you're just going to get stuck in this loop of always thinking about your problems, always thinking about the sad things, and you're just going to get stuck there. And people will tell you it's okay. It is okay to be sad, but it is not okay to stay like that and to keep talking about it and to keep focusing on it and to make it a personality trait. Think about your life. Think about what the highest version of yourself would be doing right now. Think about what the most successful version of yourself that you can possibly think of. What would he be doing right now? Would he be sitting there playing video games? Would he be sitting there eating McDonald's? What would that most successful version be doing? And then you need to try to align yourself to that version and do those things on a daily basis. And before you know it, it takes a little bit of time, but before you know it, you will become that version. I got a new mic, by the way, guys. I hope it sounds all right. Let me know. Yeah, because I got some comments. Everyone was telling me my mic was shitty. The voice clarity was bad. So I hope this is okay. Let me know how it sounds in the comments below. Peace out, guys.